Hi, I'm John,
And I'm Eric.
and we are proud affiliates of the You Run Podcast Network.
Head on over to yourunpodcast.com to check out all of our content, all of our affiliates' content, and so much more.
See y'all there.
It's Ilsung 4K, and tonight I'm coming to you live from the Grindfest 2025 Film Festival, brought to us by Orangetown University.
Grindfest?
Yeah, I didn't pick the name.
So, a grindhouse festival, huh?
I don't know what makes an absolute classic yet.
Now that is sex and ice cream.
By God's grace, it'll stay that way. Showing more of your sinful, trashy movies?
It's like a black and white art house movie, something about like cults and rituals, and think about it. One night only, we play the absolute cheesiest movies, and then we cap it off with this.
40 years ago, I got lucky. I was able to push it back then. I've shredded that film, I've burned it, but it always comes back somehow. It's just creating some kind of warp. Space, time, everything smeared together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another riveting edition of Under the Floorboards, where we laugh at the creatures that go bump in the night. I'm your host, John, joined as always by my beautiful co-host, Eric. How are you this week?
Better than last week.
I would say this feels like the redemption round.
You want to know why? Because I just watched the most entertaining movie of the year. Straight up. And I saw Sinners this year.
Damn. That is high fucking praise. That is some high fucking praise.
Welcome to the fucking show, everybody.
Welcome to it, guys.
Another banger from Mark Cantu.
No surprise. So this has been in the works for quite some time. This is obviously, you know, if you look back at some of our interviews that we've had with some of the casting crew for Grind, the pre-screener has arrived.
Holy shit.
And yes, holy
shit.
shit indeed. And this movie, per really all Cantu films, is this embodiment of 80s style horror with amazing cultural references and comedy. And it just, and what I love about his films, and I think that like his two previous films, Massacre Academy and Wolf Hollow, are really good examples of this, is I love when you just kind of get dropped in the world. And we're like, there is buildup, and it's one of those things where that actually, talking about Sinners, did really well, where you create these characters and you do it with like a couple lines of dialogue and or a couple instances, and you're given all the information that you're needed about these characters to watch them progress throughout the movie. We didn't need an extra 30 minutes of backlog, because guess what? This movie is an hour and 27 minutes, baby. An hour and 27 minutes. So with that being said, before we get too into it, because that's exactly what happens with us really easily.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and get our first impressions. So Eric, we'll start with you, brother.
Yeah, man, this is so stupid fun. It is so fun. It's stupid. Like I can't imagine making a movie and knowing it's this good.
Full stop.
Yeah, exactly. Because it does not get more fun than that for me. That's like what like peak entertainment is for me. I mean, Grind is straight up like I said, the most entertaining movie I've seen all year.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the special effects in this movie. The practical effects are absolutely fine. The usage of special effects when they are trying to be more serious and a little like darken the tone a little bit. I audibly, like, there's a scene, we can't talk about it super hard, but it's when that like vortex thing starts going, you know, at the time everything's all purple and dark and gross.
Use your eldritch imagination
Yeah.
for that one.
I literally audibly, I go, oh wow, because it was that good. It was that like I love when independent horror surprises me, and not that like I thought that Mark wasn't gonna kill this, you know, but I love that we can have so much hype around this movie and still have more hype past the hype, like post hype, if that's the thing. You know?
I think it's called hyper.
Yeah, because that would be the pre-hype, so the hype would be what we're physically. You're right. Post hype is what we're doing now. But it was so fucking fun. I mean, just front to back. And like another thing that I really like about Mark's movies, we can go more into detail about this in a minute, but the pacing is on point once again. Like he is such a master of knowing how to control the tempo of a plot.
Well, and he's so hands-on with the editing process himself as the editor, you know, so that's real creative control. And like, you know, we've had so many conversations with Mark now that you can tell how much he loves movies. And it's also one of those things where when you love movies like that, you see what other people are doing wrong, you see what other people are doing right, and you get to, it's called learning for some people out there. But
for others, it's called talent. And that's what
little column A, little column sex and ice cream.
That's it. The sex and ice cream is a vibe for sure. I will be buying that t-shirt.
With the mustache on the bottom.
But yeah, dude, I will say more when we are on theme for like the details that I want to go into. So first impression for you, go ahead.
My first impression for this movie is wow. Because it was one of those things where, you know, I am a frustrating person to sit next to sometimes during movies, not because I talk during movies like an asshole, unless we're, you know, doing what we do, but
unless we're watching Hell's Kitchen. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That was stupid.
Just fucking kill him. Why aren't we watching a horror movie right now? But it's like you said, like we were already hyped for this because we love Cantu films, and there's a level of validation that comes from it continuing to impress and continuing to be that good and continuing to strive for something higher. And what's cool is, again, I was blown away by this one. And I'm someone who loved Wolf Hollow. I loved Massacre Academy. I thought those were great movies. And those are very different films from what this is. And it was one of those things where it was so like, if In the Mouth of Madness was a comedy, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it brought all of that interdimensional Lovecraftian like powerhouse that you were really looking for. And one of the things specifically for me that, again, makes me frustrating to watch movies with is I'm really good at guessing the plots for shit. And you would really think that with watching so much Cantu film, there were a handful of turns in this film that like actually kind of caught me off guard. And like some scenes where I was just like, I feel like I can't tell if I'm getting a boner from the twist or what's happening.
Yeah. I checked. You did get a boner. It was impressive. It was.
Well, don't lie to them.
The dick print is crazy, y'all. Wait for sweatpants season.
Just me rolling up to get coffee.
My boy rocking a Louisville Slugger between us.
Just as Orioles at the end of it. But no, seriously, I was so happy with this film. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I help contribute when I can to certain Indiegogos. And when I say certain, it's because they're films that I believe in. So when I saw Grind and I saw this, I was like, yeah, I'll get myself a lunchbox. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I can stick drugs in here or whatever.
Massive condoms for his Louisville Slugger.
I just put a case of condoms in my West Brantley lunchbox.
I don't think there's anything better except maybe ammunition that you could put in a West Brantley lunchbox. Because that dude fucks, man.
That dude does, in fact, fuck. Shout out to Brian Saponis for another great role.
Yeah.
Super in love with this character. I can't wait for you guys to meet him. And I think that's a great segue into start getting into some of the points of this. Let's talk about the cast a little bit, right?
Okay.
So do you want to start on that?
Yeah, this is a very dense cast. This is another very classic Mark Cantu thing where you open the film with like fucking 30 entities going and you recognize 11 of them.
Right.
You know? So we're doing this thing. Oh, what's up? Oh, hey, that's our girl. Oh, that's my boy. You know what I mean? It's like,
My boy.
oh, my boy. And it's so effective because something that's so cool, the same way that you would do if you were watching, say, like, I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean, and suddenly like you hear like Jeremy Irons, right?
Right.
You know, or something like it's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. You know what you're gonna get from the performance. With this familiarity that we have with so many of these people from like, you know, the like close people that we know as friends and as part of the indie horror community to fucking horror legends, we know what we're going to get from these actors and actresses, and you have it in the context of a Mark Cantu thing, so you're kind of already building up like excitement as you're seeing these people kind of enter the fray. The same like you were saying earlier, like it drops you into this world, and I know that Molly is going to be Molly, and I know that Lynn Lowry is going to be Lynn Lowry, you know, and it's very cool.
Yeah, so walking into that caliber, I was already really happy with, because like we've like you said, like you see Lynn, we know Lynn is an incredible actress.
Word.
Same thing with Molly, you know, it's no secret that we're fans of her on the show. One of the things that I did want to talk about was I was very impressed with, first of all, our boy Dan Kearney, like, because he had a really, really cool role in this, and you get to see him with, let's say, some heroin chic eyes at some point, and I was
some unsavory habits.
Yeah. And it was really cool to see him in a role like that. And
because he is the sweetest human being that has ever existed.
Oh my God. Like when Sean and I met him in person, it was so funny because like we left and this is like after we had just met Dan and Cheney, and he goes, "So who hurt him?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "His voice was so sweet that I felt like somebody had to have hurt him in this world."
Yeah. I think if Appa the flying bison was a human being,
it would be Dan.
It would be Dan. I love you.
That makes like the lost days of Appa so much sadder for me. Like I feel like I can't even fucking understand. The sandbender's got him.
What the fuck is a sandbender? Dude, the sandbender tokens in the MTG set are good.
I also wanted to talk about Shonda Rawlings, who played Joey Scott.
Very fun character.
Also a very big up and comer
in
the indie horror film or the indie horror film community. Doing a lot of stuff right now with stuff like Black Sheep, Return of the Kern Zombies, Jesus Christ.
The Kern
Zombies. Grind was actually the first thing that I knew that she was going to be in, and
she has some chops, boys.
And she just plays like this amazingly like awkward film nerd, and like I felt like if you ported my personality into a female, it would have been this character.
Yeah. No, she's not a giant asshole.
Sorry, disclaimer. If you ported the better parts of me into a female character.
I was just going to say Eric. But
I didn't say gay.
There are no gay parts in you. I've checked. There's
it's like in the cavity, like nope, still straight.
Nope. Yep. Still flowered. But no, she's ridiculously talented. Like she played that character so effortlessly, in my opinion. Like it felt like it was an extension of her own personality to a degree. Like I know this girl loves movies like this just from her performance alone, because it was so easy to buy it.
Right. 100%. And also I want to talk about Daniel Ebling, who played Hutch
cool
in this, and I felt like he was kind of that glue a little bit, where like he's kind of tying a lot of these characters together in a way that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
like you have this eccentric film nerd that just wants to be the top of, like, it feels like this for any fandom, whether it be like magic or comic book collecting or horror movies or just cinema in general. You always have that guy that just wants to be the best at that. And I don't understand how that translates with film sometimes when like you don't make films. You know what I mean?
Yes, you do. You're you.
Well, that's my own supremacy. That's not. First of all, built different. Second of all, built different. But I really, really enjoyed his performance, and like it was something about like the costume, which costume designs in this, like, you know, before we even get to like what the visual effects look like costume wise.
Because holy shit.
Yeah, right. But just like the way these characters are built, like the first thing I think Sean said was like, "Oh, I would wear that Hawaiian shirt every day." And I'm like, Sean, you wear Hawaiian shirt almost every single.
He says that as he's wearing a Hawaiian. We know you're an enthusiast. Yeah, but their aesthetic is reflecting their personality very clearly, and I think that's cool when you can sort of clock characters in movies based on the way they're presented to you. Again, like Mark does such a good job of assuming that you're smart enough to get it without needing a whole lot of explanation or, you know, backstory or lore or anything like that. And that's another one of those examples of where that pops up in his movies.
Right. And obviously Brian Saponis goes without saying, like it's just he is sex and ice cream, like at the end of the day. And I was really excited when I found out the type of character that he was going to be playing. And it's just fucking bullets galore from Wes Brantley, man. Like it is so fucking cool.
Think like if the comedian from Watchmen was actually a Borderlands character. And that's kind of where we're at. Little Gunzerker energy, a little, you know.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of my grandfather, and I don't mean don't mean that in a like he's old way. But there's just some moments where like he's chewing on a cigar, like not even smoking it, he's just chewing on it, and like that was something that he used to do a lot. So that was interesting to me.
And like saying shit, but you can't understand a fucking word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, we're trying to tiptoe around some of these characters who don't want to talk about too much. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Molly Sousa.
Oh, 100%
in this, because
my favorite character in the movie.
Because and for me, and I've seen a good amount of her films at this point. I know you have as well. This was the most dynamic I ever got to see her. And that range is so wide.
Yeah, this is a good one to add to the resume if you're Molly. And I know she's smart enough to know that, but Molly got more screen time in this movie, I think, than anything I've ever seen her in. Without looking at that data hard and fast, I feel like we saw a lot of Molly in this movie for good. I mean, the character is crucial to the plot line, right? So that makes a lot of sense. But going from
is that AJ?
Yes. Is that AJ?
When you know, you'll know.
Yeah, just her range is very remarkable to me, and getting to see her be able to, I mean, like, I'm not like knocking any of her other performances or scripts or anything, but like getting to see her
she had the space here. She had the space.
Space is what I'm talking about. The freedom in the script and kind of the trust to show her shit, you know. I mean, she really did a great job.
100%. Dabbing on them. So let's talk a little bit about the effects in this. There's definitely this is no secret. There are a lot of movies within the movie that was the whole concept. Grind is a grindhouse film festival that is happening at this theater, and Mark will probably, when he listens to this, confirm this, but I'm 80% sure that the if you are in the Pennsylvania area and you would like to go see Grind, check it out in Irwin, Pennsylvania, August 9th at 7 p.m. I will be there, and I'm super excited to come meet you guys and see some of the cast and crew again.
But let's say, for instance, you're there for a comic convention. John, what are you doing on Saturday if you're there?
I was in tears at that line.
Yeah.
Just that.
John and Sean about fell out of their fucking chairs, dude. And John's got one of those couches that it's just hard to fall out of.
Yeah.
But that's how fucking funny it was.
I would have to roll over and push up to get out of that couch.
Yeah. I feel like I stole your thunder on that point you were gonna make, though. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, like I'm kind of in the same camp you are after you explained it to me, because I didn't know.
No, it's fine. There's just a line where the film festival is happening at the same time as a comic book convention in the town.
Yeah.
And what's hilarious is Grind is going to be premiering the same weekend in Pennsylvania, about 20 minutes away from Steel City Con, or not Steel City Con. Is it actually? Yeah, it is Steel City Con, because there's also Steel City Screams, which is the one that I would care a little bit more about. But yeah, I thought that was absolutely fucking hilarious.
What do you think the over under is on that being the last scene that they shot? As Mark received that information, he's like, Lynn, we gotta do this. We're gonna make an amendment to the script here.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I would think over.
Taking the over on that one.
Yeah, taking the over on that one.
Heard.
But yeah, the visual effects themselves, I was really impressed with. Because I know some of it was like pre-set up as far as like how they were going to wind up editing it later. Like I know there was stuff that they were wearing on their eyes for because we haven't really talked about the plot at all.
I'm gonna let you steer that shit, man. I will accidentally say something that needs to be edited out if I'm
Mark's like, fucking air.
Well, we know who his favorite is. It's fine.
Well, that's why they pay me the big bucks. It's not.
Fuck you, Mark. I'm just kidding, Dad. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just kidding.
Everybody has to rebel against their parents at some point. I get it. I just haven't gone through my phase yet. But to summarize this film, it is about a group of people that work at a theater that are all film nerds, and they want to have a film festival there, which is Grind. Obviously, the Grindhouse Film Festival. There is a film that is found on celluloid in the basement that is called The Creeping Chaos. So the film starts in very many ways that you see in a lot of these Lovecraftian Eldritch films. You start to see the chaos creeping in.
Join the void. Where is your god now?
Sir, this is a Wendy's. So you kind of get to see the weirdness kind of start to happen. And I don't want to say too much more than that, because this movie is so fucking action packed.
Yeah.
It just goes beat. And it's not even that it's hard to keep up with. It's just a matter of there's so much happening constantly. And again, that's what makes movies like this fun.
Yeah.
Like it makes them so much more fun when you're constantly like, all right, what's next? How are you going to top that? And Mark managed to really do that in this film.
Yeah, I agree. The thing that I was going to say about the effects is that really cool mix of special and practical that independent horror is known for, but especially Mark. But like what's cool about Mark's style, and that's very evident in this one, he knows when to make the special effect or the practical effect goofy and unbelievable for the sake of a bit, and it worked very well. Like we're imagining the same scene because we just saw the movie.
Right.
That shit is funny as fuck. I love when people aren't afraid to do something that, like, it on paper it's not good, but because of the tone that you're trying to create, it works very well.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting with what you're bringing up about the effect differentiation is on both sides of that. What's cool is Mark is a little bit older than us because obviously he's our dad, but but there is a there's a sense of nostalgia that we got. You know, there was a point where we were like, oh, Ivan Ooze, like Angel Grove, right? And that's still hitting another generation. So it's cool to see how that transcribes, because that probably came, and I don't want to describe the scene, but that probably came from a concept of something that he was more into
100%.
when he was younger.
And that's crazy because he would have been 36 when the Power Rangers movie came out.
Did you actually just do that math?
No. I feel like it's just obvious.
That is a strangely exact number. Yeah, he was exactly 36 years old.
In 1993. Or 5 or whenever. When did Power Rangers come out? 96, 97?
It was 98.
98, okay, maybe. I don't know.
It didn't break 2000.
Yeah. No way, because it was still Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the obvious like nostalgia, and like there's lines from like other shit, like you were saying at the beginning of this, like pop culture references where you like
one of them we couldn't say because it literally tells part of the
I know
plot.
that's what I'm trying to I'm doing a goddamn great job right now, because like there is so much that I want to talk about, especially like I can't even say what I was gonna say.
The irony is Eric actually hates Prescreeners.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong, because I hate, the thing that sucks is like I hate that we can't talk about it, because I want to fucking like
I want to fuck it first of all.
If it were a steak, I would fuck it. There's just I want to circle back to the effects again, because like the monster design, the practical effects for the masks, unbelievable in this movie. Like the eldritch horrors and shit that you see,
because there's one that's the Nerelia tap, which is like the main eldritch that we see.
The white one is what I'm going to refer to it as, is something that I would like to hang on the wall in a game room.
Oh yeah.
That would it would go right next to fucking like Predator, you know. And it's that cool. I mean, it like I'm not like trying to like pump his tires too much, but like the mask design in this is incredible. Like the creature design in this is incredible from a practical standpoint.
And the effects team killed it.
Yeah. Front to back.
T to B, baby. It's like I was a big fan of the Flash series on CW, and some people get irritated with stuff like this. I really like it, where they do like the overlay effects of like for your visuals, where it's like there's lightning crashing down and all of this shit. And it's because someone didn't like AI generate a lightning strike going into the middle of a fucking lake, and you get to see it in live time or whatever. And it's like that kind of shit I don't like, actually, because I know that that's not a real lightning. Why are you trying to sell me shit that it's not? You know? And I think this movie was really honest.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
when it needed to be serious, it was serious, and when it needed to be goofy, it was goofy.
And again, yeah, exactly. And it all played into each other. And that's what makes a movie is like, it has to be cohesive with the rest of the ideas that are happening. And that's where that's why we had so much fun, guys, to the point where Eric and I, and our friend Sean, who was also watching it with us, all audibly fucking cheered.
Let's fucking go
twice, like twice during this movie. 3 30-plus-year-old men
applauded in a living room at 2:30 on a Monday. Like I'm talking like fucking at the end of this shit, because it's so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
We're about to walk into World War III, and we're just happy that we got another Cantu film at this point.
100%. That's the best part about being in your mid-30s, buddy.
Really tired of living through historical events, gotta tell you. But it was like, it literally took us out of all of the bullshit that was happening. And that's what movies are supposed to fucking do. You're supposed to be able to sit down with your friends and enjoy something. And there's plenty of depth to it if you really want to look into it. But I would say if you walk into Grind, do it with the idea of having fun.
Yeah.
first and foremost, and then watch it a second time if you want to get more.
Which we're about to do.
Yeah. While we fuck.
I'm gonna play hopscotch in John's butt cavity.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Shit, is he in jail too?
Probably.
Was that Kelly? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Well,
Damn.
bump and grind. Yeah, that was our.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
My mind's telling me no.
Which honestly, that line is pretty good
Crazy,
for
right?
It's
Yeah.
actually really good for grind. My body, my body.
No copyrighted music.
Yeah, you get like 6 seconds. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think the
That was a very cool throwback, by the way. That was like episode 2 Under the Floorboard right there. That was the Annie era.
which I think I saw her the other day. Remind me to tell you about that.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
I think she finally hit her like giga evolution.
I can't wait. We can cut this out. I can't fucking wait. I can't fucking wait to hear about this.
Coming from all the way across the pond, VHS Tasties is protecting the sanctity of film one VHS tape at a time.
Check out their YouTube channel for interactive collecting, film reviews, interviews, and so much more.
You can find Video Tasties on YouTube and yourunpodcast.com.
Movie of the year.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. Movie of the year.
Well, we don't get to be biased quite yet.
I'm not being biased. I'm looking at the information I have in front of me.
We still got a couple months before the
That's what I'm
award
saying.
show.
Yep.
I know. I want people to feel like they have a chance.
You have a chance. I'm just saying. You can.
What's a king to a god?
Right. Saying our God gave birth to yours. That's all.
And I'll fucking cheers to that.
Yeah. Sorry, our dad gave birth to your God. That's the Protest the Hero lyric.
Well, I think that's actually a line out of the movie too.
Probably.
Also, just a fun thing for when you're watching Grind. If you don't know this from watching a Cantu film before, Mark has an affinity for action movies as well. Like he loves horror and it's what he makes. And I think that's part of the reason this movie is so awesome is it kind of hybrids that really well. It's like action, horror, comedy. But he makes a reference to The Last Boy Scout. And I was just like, and I felt like my soul leave my body because that's my favorite action movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that film, which is weird because it's a Marlon Wayans film with Bruce Willis and Danielle Harris as Bruce Willis's daughter, where like that's the one I keep telling you about where he like runs down the field, shoots the dude in the face. It's perfect. It's fucking perfect. So
down to the last minute detail.
It really fucking is. So
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the movie is filled with nuances and references to different films overall. And I mean that's in a lot of his movies too. Like Wolf Hollow was really full of that too. And it's one of those fun things that I like to do in movies where it's just like, oh, I got you. Oh, yeah. I got you. And like,
I understood that.
Mark likes to play with his audience, and I think that's cool.
Yeah. This movie, not a 1-for-1 comparison, but I would say to the audience, to the listeners, if you enjoyed Kung Fury, this is giving Kung Fury energy for me. It's just, yeah. Have you seen it?
Is that the one with the chick with 3 tits?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I have not seen it.
Okay, cool.
I think I think I'm thinking of like what's it called, Kung Pao.
Kung Pao, yeah.
Or it's like some stupid.
Kung Fury is like a 40-minute long action comedy movie.
That
was a big viral video on YouTube. Yeah. I think we might watch Kung Fury when we're done with this. I think you'll really like it. But anyway, that's what it reminded me of, but with more Mark Cantu. You know,
it's a little bit of Cantu in you.
Got some mark on your face.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else specific that we want to talk about that we can talk about.
We should do a full proper review of this too when we're allowed to.
And we absolutely will.
Yeah.
We absolutely will. Eric, if you were going to be quoted on this
Oh wow.
on this film, like if you were going to be quoted, what would you want people, like if somebody read that, what would you want people to see your thought on this film?
It was better than Sinners. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, let me redact. It was better than Wolf Hollow. No, this movie is just a rip snorting good time, dude. I mean, it's so fucking fun. And that's, I mean, I could say that over and over again in many different variations of that, but that's kind of all I have to say about it. It's that movie that we always talk about, that great movie that you will always offer to your friends if we're looking for something fun to watch on a game night, or like I don't know, sleepover feels weird. But if everybody's half drunk and half baked and we're, let's watch a movie and let's chill, this is the kind of shit that you want to put on. It is so perfect. And that's it.
If this movie was a drug, I would snort it.
Yeah. That's perfect. God damn it, you're going on the poster. That was so much better than mine. John gets the poster again. Fuck. I got to work on my quotes.
It's okay. You got the house amongst the trees.
I had to think about that one, though. It didn't come organically. Unlike me when I watched this movie.
I would love to come for you.
That one, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I know Mark's laughing.
Yeah.
It's not.
He's like, thank God. They're almost done.
Yeah, right.
I am so excited for you guys to see this. And I would like to remind everybody, too, if you're in the Pennsylvania area or the North Jersey area or whatever.
Somewhere farther up than North Carolina.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I'm driving I think it was 6.5 hours last time to go see it in theaters, and I've already seen it, if that's not enough of a fucking
Yeah,
endorsement.
dude. I mean, that's what else can you say?
So it's like, you have no excuse
Yeah.
to not go see it.
If
So
you don't go see this movie, you don't like movies.
And also, we will keep you posted on when it actually is going to be dropping on streaming services. And I can't wait to see the reviews, because if you don't like this movie, then fuck you. I am so excited for another episode of Hating the Haters.
Oh, dude, I can't imagine.
I will turn that ass into an eldritch portal that I will shove my entire fist into and pull a sword out of.
From a very beloved fantasy series of video games of the Japanese variety.
Busting the sword with the busting that ass.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, again, it's premiering in Irwin, Pennsylvania on August 9th. I will be there along with a lot of the cast and crew, which is super exciting. You'll get to meet a lot of them and all the hard work they put on. It was such a blast last time when we went to Wolf Hollow, so it's definitely worth it. And then yeah, tickets are online on the Eventbrite. If you have any questions about how to get to it, feel free to reach out to us. Or you can usually get it through DMing Grind at Grind Official, which you can see below. And yeah, just fucking shoot it up.
Snort that movie.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I would take a fucking blade and break that shit up into the finest line a man has ever seen and just put it right in my. You know what? You know,
that's where you cut the episode. Put it in mine.
I'd boof it. How do you feel about Grind? I'd boof it.
I'd boof it.
Last shout outs, definitely to the cast and crew. You did an amazing job and put such an incredible film together. And obviously that wouldn't have happened without Daddy Mark Cantu himself. And thank you once again for joining us. Sorry, I was getting a little ahead of myself. I'm tearing up right now.
He's losing it.
But I really want to thank Mark for helping us be a part of this community and sharing his art with us. And that's really cool to be like, this isn't out, so I trust you guys not to fuck me and send it to like downloadmovies.com.
Right. Right.
Kind of shit. So I am so excited for this film to finally be out. We've been waiting for this for so long. I say so long, it's been a year. It's actually it's actually incredible how fast he cranked this fucking movie out. But I'm so excited for this film, and I'm so excited for other people to see it. I'm excited for the community to start sharing this. So Eric, do you have any other thoughts?
Nah, thanks, Mark. I mean, again, it's one of those things for me where we wouldn't be a podcast without you. Straight up, like, you're one of the key reasons why we still do what we do. So thanks for this, and thanks for being yourself always. Go Spurs.
Well, thank you guys for joining us once again. Where it creaks, it cracks, and we laugh with the creatures that go bump in the night. Thank you, Daddy.
Thanks, Daddy.